Hi there, good morning. Hi, my name's Zoe. I am here to talk to you about A-level mathematics at the Hastings campus of East Sussex College Group. We've got a little presentation for you here. Hopefully you can see my lovely fractal there. And I'm just going to give you some information about the course and what we do and who we are. And then there'll be time for questions afterwards. Okay, so this is us, Aditi and myself, and Chantal is our head of sixth form. Aditi and I are both highly sort of qualified for teaching maths. We've both got degrees in very relevant subjects, and I think what you need to know about us is we share a huge enthusiasm for our subjects. So we welcome your questions, your interests about mathematics. And we love to apply it as well. So Aditi also teaches physics. I'm always interested in seeing the patterns in the real world come to life, and mathematics gives us that deep understanding of it. The other thing you need to know about us is we're both quite friendly and approachable people. So it's not going to be, you might have a stereotype in your head of mathematicians being quite dry, but we laugh a lot and we are, as I say, quite approachable. So, A-level mathematics at Hastings campus, it is a great companion subject. If you're thinking of studying anything science, geography, medicine, of course, business, economics, all of that, it gives you such a depth of understanding in how you manage data or how you understand what's going on modelling real life situations. It's also, a brilliant subject just in terms of the beauty of the world can be understood and made sense of with maths. So if you love problem solving, if you have a great curiosity about the world, this is a great subject for you. I love this quote by Albert Einstein that I've put up, that sometimes math seems like something that smart people do, but actually it's just keeping that curiosity alive, and sometimes in that uncertain place a flash of inspiration will come. So that's why I love A-level maths anyway. It's really draws together all that problem solving and all of those topics that seem very separate at GCSE come together and seem to shine a light on each other. So the entry criteria for this course, what you need is 5 GCSEs at level 4, including English, and this is across the board for A-levels at Hastings. So we want you to have enough study skills to be able to get through the A-levels, and that's why that's there. If you're achieving below that, then there are vocational courses that you might find more to your taste. But if you're loving some of your subjects, then I think you'll love A-levels as well. You do need at least GCSE level 7 in mathematics because we want to be fairly solid in our GCSE knowledge before we go on to A-level. It will come really, really make it much easier if you've got level 7 or above. But don't stop at level 7. Go for 8 or 9. Push yourself. Ask your teacher for extension work. You can get that level 9. Have a look at the some of the resources, some of the revision books for level 8 or 9. Also, it's not an official criteria, but like I say, curiosity and an ability or a love of problem solving is going to come really, it's going to be really handy for this. So if you love to do a puzzle, whether it is a computer puzzle or a paper puzzle, and you don't mind that bit of uncertainty in the middle, you're going to go far in mathematics because you'll hang on in there until it makes sense. So I've put some of the syllabus up here. You can see there's quite a lot of detail in here. I won't go into detail because we haven't got much time, but it splits into pure topics, which is more exploration of algebra and graphs, how that links with geometry, And we have calculus coming in, which is the maths of the infinite or the infinitesimal. So it's really interesting stuff. And things like modelling real world behaviours. So things that oscillate like the tides, things that grow, for example, bacteria growth, or, you know, the coronavirus graphs, you know, how is that all working? How do we work out the patterns there? There's also mechanics, which is how the physical world works, so how things affect each other in the real world, and statistics, which helps you to crunch data. And in our modern world, this is so important. If you're an internet company, you crunch a lot of data, and trying to make sense of that and get a pattern out of it is really crucial. But we have some great tools for that. So hopefully there's something that really grabs you in there. As I say, maths is such a useful subject to ground you for lots of degrees. So again, we've got medicine, we've got accountancy, all the sciences, it's really useful. Economics, business. As you can imagine, the financial patterns are quite difficult to track, but maths gives us a way of modelling it given the data. I also think, as well as sciences, geography, psychology, art and design has also got a large amount of mathematics in. So don't be shy if you're more of an artist and you're torn between arts and maths. Actually, there's a lot of maths in art. So, for example, architecture. So it's also, I've just put a note at the bottom there that if whatever career you go into, it's always useful to have that grounding so that you can climb up the ladder of that career. You never know where you're going to end up. You might end up at the top of your career. Our course, I think, is really interesting. I think mostly because we have this curiosity about how it applies. The modern A-level that we do and that Aditi and I have been teaching has a lot of application to the real world. There's some beautiful things here. I've put the spider web, the cobweb, and the fern leaf up there to say that in nature there is a lot of mathematics. And also we use those concepts. So the concept of the cobweb helps us to solve impossible equations by honing in on the answer. So look for your inspiration far and wide with maths. And you can see we can create some quite beautiful things on there and understand things that seem to elude understanding. And as I say, we're both very curious, very enthusiastic teachers. If we don't know the answer, then we invite you to explore as well. We don't want you to be limited in your exploration. Okay, so here's a little quote from a student. This is a general kind of quote about the college, just that we do treat you as more like adults at sixth form. So you're going to be enjoying your social life, you're going to be doing some self-study as well as the course lessons, but socially it's a really lovely place to be. I've seen people develop such amazing friendships. There's really nice atmosphere. These are some helpful things that you might want for your year. We've got the Class Whiz calculator. This is the one that you want for your A-levels. It does everything. You can cheat almost with it. It's great for cheating. We've got the textbook. We provide your textbooks, but it's really good to have a backup, especially when we're at home a lot at the moment. And there's revision books available as well that are really useful. As you can see, the costs are not huge. The calculator is a must, and put aside some money for the exam practice books later in the year. So that's the end of my presentation. I've put the emails there for me and for Aditi so that you can get in touch with us, and we're ready to take questions. So I'm going to end the presentation there, and we will listen out for any of your questions. So I've got a question from Craig. Does maths have a lot of crossover with A-level accounting? It's certainly going to be useful to have maths and accounting together. When you do accounting, you are going to be using a lot of technology, and you are going to be number crunching a lot. And I suppose maths A-level would take it to a higher level where you're spotting the patterns and you're spotting what's going on there. But the crossover, I think it would be useful. The extra study, we have a guideline. So Peter's asked, how much extra study am I expected to do? The lessons currently are, there's 3 lessons of an hour and a half per week. So that's 4.5 hours for each A-level. You are expected to do about the same in your self-study to ensure success. Some people get away with a bit less, but that's our recommendation, about the same self-study. You can do that in our library, in groups, with your friends, or you can do it on your own solo. Thank you, Pete. It's a good question because your timetable won't be full. Jane has just asked what subjects go well with maths. Most of our maths students do study either sciences or economics. I've got art students that also study maths. So I think if you've got an odd combination, so maybe you're doing sort of English, history and maths that don't seem to have a lot of crossover, it's worth having a chat to us and seeing what you're preparing yourself for. But the best ones are any sciences. There's a lot of crossover with physics and chemistry and biology at all. Really good companions for maths. Economics is a popular one, business, and also things like psychology and biology, psychology and geography will go really well with maths. So another question is, if I don't pass my English, can I still do the course? So we do ask for a grade 4 in English, just to ensure you've got the basics there. It's just because there is a lot of study. I think we would look at all of your results. There are exceptions where we can ask you to resit the English if there's been a particular reason why you don't pass the English. So talk to us if you think you're not quite going to get there. Okay, and I think that's it. So we're going to wrap up there. Thank you very much for your questions. Please do feel free to look at the presentation again. Some of that information is in there. And if you do have any questions, if I haven't answered your questions, or you've got an odd collection of subjects that you're interested in, get in touch with us and we're really happy to answer your questions. Okay. Thanks for turning up today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.